Hello everyone, my name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Hi, hello. Welcome to the start of another weekend vlog. It's the start of a long weekend. It is past 1 a.m. I should be in bed. My shoulder went out today. I've asked many people about this, and all of them look at me or just say, no, are you okay? Does anyone else ever just like exist and then suddenly feel a body part start to go out? Like neck, shoulder, my whole like, not the front, but like the back part of this part here is out. It went out on me when I was at the library today. I just finished writing the entirety. I finished the first draft of Airmount Book 3. I'm about to just fall into bed. I'm so tired. I'm packing because I didn't pack today yet. I wanted to pop in and say hello because I want to show you the books I'm taking with me. I've got my brand new headphones, which I got this week. Will I be taking them with me? Probably. Do I have anything to put them in? No, but I think I just made up, maybe it'll fit in my book sleeve because they didn't come in a case and they don't have a case on their website, so they have like a bag. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so they won't get damaged in this padded bag. Sexy, nice, amazing. This, not this one. I need a different one. Do I have another one here? Oh, balls, I don't. I need to find one that I can put my Switch in. Because I'm bringing that with, because Stardew Valley. Anyways, these are the 3 books I'm bringing with me. I'm bringing An Echo of Things to Come by James Islington. I'm bringing The Broken Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin, and I got this one from the library today, Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe by Alex White, which is a trans book. I barely read this week for the Trans Rights Readathon, so I'm bringing some with me, bringing that one with me for this weekend. And I'm also halfway through So Let Them Burn by Camilla Cool. So that I'm taking with me. When I get back on Sunday, I'm going to be doing some audiobook stuff because yesterday, Wednesday, I officially moved all of my audiobook stuff and my recording studio into my storage room. Cleaned out my storage room specifically with the purpose to make it into the recording studio because I got tired of the sound quality from sitting there at my desk because it's a big open room and that does nothing for sound. Packing time. I'm just throwing a bunch of stuff in a bag and I'm going to bed, but hello, welcome to the weekend. It's a long weekend. We're gonna have fun up at the cabin. It's just a bunch of relaxing. No writing in sight because I've been writing forever. We're just gonna get a bunch of reading done, a bunch of nothing done. Hopefully my shoulder is not out tomorrow when I wake up because driving with a shoulder that's out is hell. And also sleeping in a bed that's not my own with a bad shoulder, hell, and a handbasket. So anyways, welcome to the vlog. I'm so glad you're here. Get ready for the montage that you guys know is coming. And we'll see what I end up getting read this weekend. I also hope that when I come back, I can get Nimona read as well, the graphic novel that I did not read last weekend and did not read this week, but I'm reading it. Should I bring it to the lake too? Fuck it, I'm gonna bring it to the lake too. I'm adding that to my list, because why not? Why not bring a 800-page fantasy novel with like a 500-page sci-fi novel and another 400-page fantasy novel and the remnants of a 300-page fantasy novel. Why not add a graphic novel on top of that? Because if I am one thing, it is on brand and I read a lot. Let's go to the lake in the morning. Toes. Give them to me. Give me these toes. Give them to me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're so silly. Oh, last night. Let me show you. you unpacking the gifts for them, Belle? What are you doing?
Bella. Hey.
Leave it alone.
Stop it. It's not yours.
Oh, sweet child. Friends, happy Sunday. I am now home. It is a bright and sunny day, as is the reason why I have my window. I have it open like this much because it's still only like 1 degree outside, but it's bright and sunny and I like it. So fresh air it is. But hello friends, I'm home from the weekend. I wanted to pop in and do a little reading update because this weekend I got a whole lot of reading done. So this weekend I also decided to bring along So Let Them Burn by Camilla Cole. This really disappointed me on how much I did not give a shit about a single thing in this book. I wanted to love this so bad. You guys know how much I love dragon books. But I was listening to it and like originally this week, one of the days this week, I just decided because I got my audiobook in for this through Libby. And so I was like, great, I'm going to listen to this. I'm going to start reading it. I started listening to it after work and I was like doing a couple things and I sat down on my couch, started playing Stardew Valley and listening to it. And Stardew Valley was more interesting than this. The front of this says, a dragon took her sister. She'll set the world on fire to bring her back. What a terrible tagline for this book. Because that's not what happened. A dragon didn't just take her sister and then it was that tagline tells me that it's gonna spend the whole book is gonna be our main character fighting tooth and nail to get her sister back. No, absolutely not. Her sister bonds with a dragon accidentally at a peace dinner thing. I don't know, but okay, so this follows Farron and Elena, or Alara, or whatever the shit her sister's name is. Farron is this chosen one from 5 years prior when she and her 12-year-old buddies, when they were like 12 years old, won the war because she got chosen by the gods to be given this like god power type thing. And so she won the war. Dragons are looked down upon in her place because they're like the enemy and that's what she's fighting. And so at this like peace dinner thing that she's brought to by the queen, and her sister's there as well because her sister's like trying to make it in the army and make a name for herself, even though her sister's like the hero. Her sister's honestly, Farron, awful. She just lies all the time and she's kind of a terrible person. This peace dinner happens way too late in the book. Nothing interesting happens until like page like 100. And then that's when her sister gets accidentally bonded to a dragon. It not gets taken by a dragon. No. She accidentally bonds to this dragon who is already bonded to a person from like the other side, like their enemies or whatever. And there's like a sapphic kind of interest there between that first rider and a wing rider. I don't know, like they're Elena and this person, Sigrid or something, who's already bonded to the dragon. Dragon bonds to Elena, and then all of the people gather and they're like, well, we have to send your sister away to train. Doesn't get taken. She gets sent away to train so that she can, because she bonded to a dragon on accident. All of the interesting stuff that could have happened in this book are skated over, and all we are given is Farron being bored out of her fucking mind trying to research things with this one guy in the library, and they're like not doing anything. So like the what I thought this was is I thought it was like dragons took my sister, literally took them, and then I have to find her, fight them, quest novel, go get her, I will burn down the world to get her back. No, she's bored in a library for 80% of the book. Boring. And then Elena, because we have both Farron and Alara's point of view. Why do I keep saying Elena? We have both of their point of views. And then because I was like, okay, whatever, Alara is going to learn how to, she's going to train to be a dragon. But we skip over all the interesting dragon training. And all of a sudden she just knows how to be a person who rides a dragon. We don't get to see any of her learning on how to do that. So like for a minute I was like, did she just special snowflake her way into this? You know, when main characters just get everything they're given and they're fine. We didn't see any of the growth. We didn't see any of her training. She just suddenly is great at this. And so it feels like second day in, she's great at this, which is not what it was. And I ended up skimming the last 120 pages. Like I was listening to the audiobook at 3 times speed and it still wasn't fast enough for me to just get through this. I was bored. Oh, I'm so sad because look how beautiful this is. Anyways, so there's that. Disappointing read. Then I read Nimona by N.D. Stevenson, and this was fun. It wasn't really anything super insane, special, whatever, but what really made it interesting for me was that I was looking on my Libby account because I managed to get an out-of-state library card for a library in the States that you can just pay for, and it was like $30 for a library card from somewhere in the States. And I was like, I'm looking through their catalog just to see what they have, to like see if like books that my library doesn't have, maybe they have, or you know, etc., etc. And I ended up finding Nimona on there. It was like a 2-hour audiobook. And I was like, an audiobook for a graphic novel? I need to know what this means. It was so entertaining. It was like full cast with sound effects. And how they did it is they added a little bit extra narration to like describe some of the scenes, and like the narrator was really sassy, and even some of the dialogue was extended because like it would kind of set the scene for what's in the graphic novel. That was highly enjoyable. I really recommend getting the audiobook and reading it at the same time, or like doing that in a way like getting it from your library or whatever, because it was just that made the experience so much better because there was sound effects. I don't know, like it worked so well, and who they got to voice the characters in here were so funny, and it did make me want to watch the movie, so I probably will try to do that at some point. I did enjoy this. It wasn't like phenomenal or like blow me away, but I did enjoy it. And I brought this one and this next library book with me, A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe, because they're part of my Transrates readathon. And this week I got barely any reading done. Like the only reading I did was the half reading of So Let Them Burn one night, because I was just trying to finish the draft of Airmail Book 3 and getting audiobook stuff done, and I was so busy at work, so I just didn't have like the brain space to read anything else. So I decided to extend the Transrates readathon into the weekend because it was finished on Friday. So I did bring these 2 with me. So I got another one down with Nimona. And then I got partway through this. I think I'm like 40% of the way through. I'm currently on page 187. And I was really, really enjoying this when I was reading it. So I'm hoping I can polish this off. Today is March 31st. So I'm like, do I wanna attempt finishing another book today? If I do, it'll be this one because I am most of the way, like I have only this chunk left. And the only other book I could do that with would be this big boy. And I don't have the brain space right now to read another 300 pages. Or 400 pages, or however many there's left in that one. But yeah, I really am enjoying A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe by Alex White. So it says here, a washed up treasure hunter, a hotshot racer, and a deadly secret society. So it follows 2 characters. I think it's Nyla. Yeah, Nyla's car. So Nyla is the racer. And at the beginning of this, Nyla's in a race and something happens where her like co-racer, she witnesses him get absolutely murdered by this being that like stalls the race and breaks all of their defense systems and stuff. He calls her mother, or he calls the being mother. And so it's a really interesting universe because it's definitely the truest sci-fi fantasy I've ever read, because there's magic and there's also spaceships and tech, like full magic, like the kind of magic that like Nyla herself can take over a spaceship with. Like it's very cool magic. So she ends up fleeing after this terrible murder of her co-racer Cyril or Carol, or however you say that name. And then there's another character in here who is the treasure hunter, the washed up treasure hunter named Boots. Boots gets kind of stuck in shit, and Nyla also gets stuck in shit, and they end up coming together after these intense moments of Nyla calling for help from the authorities. And then when the authorities get there, she realizes that the authorities are actually have been taken over by something. And so I don't know, like there's so much going on. And then suddenly both Boots and Nyla are imprisoned on the ship that Boots used to be a part of with Boots' old crew. And so they're on a spaceship. I think they're trying to find, I think what they're going to be doing is they're going to find the greatest warship ever built. Some think the ship is lost forever, some think it's been destroyed, and some think it's only a legend. But one thing's for certain, whoever finds it will hold the fate of the universe in their hands. So like, so far it's very, very fun. And this is just reminding me how much I enjoy Alex White's writing, because I read some of Alex's books before, because their book, August Kitco and the Mechas from Space, is so fun. And I was looking at it on Goodreads and it has such a low rating, which is so disappointing because it's honestly such a fun book. And I need everyone to go read more of that book because it's just so genuinely like high octane space book, which is what I want. And that's what this is giving. I thought this was going to be a lot more like literary and contemplative and stuff like that. Maybe it's because of the title, because a big ship at the edge of the universe gives a long way to a small angry planet, right? Like it's a big title, that kind of thing. And the cover is very like simplistic. It's not very space opera-y, but it's definitely fun. And I'm enjoying the magic and space stuff, because the magic in here, like the explanation for the magic, is that everyone's born with an extra little bit of an organ, I think it's on their heart, that is the magic, and Boots was born without it. Everyone's like, what do you mean you were born without it? You literally can't live without it. And she's like, yeah, you can. I'm proof you can live without this piece of your organ. Like, it's not a needed organ. It's really interesting. I'm enjoying it and I was liking it. Of course, I started this big boy yesterday. I got just over halfway through, about halfway through. I'm on page 377. And of course, I'm liking this. It's the second book in the Lycanius trilogy, and super easy to read, super easy to follow. I'm waiting to kind of see if that same pull to read it was there. I was waiting for because the first book, I couldn't put it down. And I will say that there was like a genuine like, oh, like I can just read this all day kind of a feeling. But there wasn't that same like, oh my God, what's happening pull as the first book was giving me. This is genuinely just like a good sequel so far. So love that for me. Yeah, that's the reading I did this weekend. I also brought the Broken Kingdoms with me in case I got a feeling for some N.K. Jemisin, but I did not, unfortunately. I was reading too many other things. But yeah, that's the reading update. I guess now I have my nail stuff because my nails are disgusting. I need to cut them and repaint them, I guess. I also would like to do the reading journal updates for the books that I finished this weekend, but we'll see. We'll see what I end up getting up to. But yeah, I'm home. Got my TV on, window open, an iced coffee in hand. I got snacks next to me. What a day. Mom and I watched Barbie yesterday, which was so fun. I wasn't expecting her to like it because just the way that both my parents reacted when they heard when Barbie was becoming a movie, I don't think they knew really what to expect. And my dad was like, I'm not gonna like this. And I'm like, Dave, like, you might like it. Just hang out. And he didn't. He ended up leaving partway through, which is valid. But like, I think it's one of those movies where partway through, if you stop, you're just gonna be like, well, this is the stupidest movie ever. You have to get all the way through it to like really get it and really get all of it, because there's a lot of really goofy shit that goes on in that movie, and it's fun and it's kooky because that's what it is. Like at the end of it, I like turned to my mom and I was like, so like, what did you think? And she was like, that was actually really cute. It was actually very good. And I was like, right? Like, I love how much at the beginning of the Barbie movie that like they get across the feeling of little kids playing with their toys. Like that's what that whole thing was. And she was like, you're exactly right. Like I was so confused at the beginning because it was just so weird. And then when you get like actually into it and into the real world part of it and all that kind of stuff, she's like, no, it was actually quite good. And I'm like, yeah, no, like it hits. The Barbie movie hits. And it almost got me again when I was sitting on the couch watching it. I was like, ah. And then when Mom and I we're going to bed after that because Dad was already in bed sleeping because he's a party pooper. I was like, good night, Barbie. And she looked at me and she goes, I'm not going to call you Ken. And I'm like, no, you have to say it back. And she goes, all right, because they're all Barbie. And we were laughing so hard. She had a good time, which is so nice because I wasn't expecting her to have a good time with that movie. So I loved it. What a good night. But yeah, anyways, friends, I'm just going to hang out for a bit. So it's 20 to 3. Gotta rest my afternoon and evening to go. I'll catch up with you a little later. Hello friends. It's now much later and I'm just about to go to bed. But I realized I ended up giving you an update. Hi. I ended up finishing A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe tonight. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I've been trying to come up with like comps for it because I don't know what it is about like coming up with comparative titles to books. I just enjoy it, and it's a good like, if you liked this book or these elements of this book, read this book kind of a thing, right? So A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe feels like No Fet Gloss by Essa Hansen, Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey, A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, a little bit of the third book of Red Rising, and like a little bit of The Expanse by J.S. Dews. Like it just feels like a little bit of all of those books, but like none of them at all. So it's a very interesting read because it's so familiar yet fresh. I don't know what it is. Like it's a familiar space. Very techy, it's very interesting, but it has a lot of interesting elements added in as well. Did I explain what it was earlier? Like the crew of the ship is trying to find this legendary ship before it can get into the hands of bad people, you know, who would use it as a weapon all the time, all the way there. They're like finding out new stuff and all this kind of, like, you know, typical adventure heisty novel, but there's also like magic involved, which I think this is one of the coolest, most true sci-fi fantasies that I've ever read, because it genuinely brings in magic, which is so fantasy, into a really high-tech space ship world where they're literally on a spaceship for like 80% of this book. So I don't know, I thought it was really, really cool and really well done. I really enjoyed this. I ended up giving it like 4 stars. I do highly recommend. It's a lot of fun, which I don't know why I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was something that was more depressing. I don't know why. I might have read a review and misconstrued it, but yeah, an exciting, fast-paced, magic-fueled treasure hunt across the galaxy, says Corey J. White. Exciting characters in a brilliant universe, highly recommend. It's also a comp for Firefly, the show. I never watched Firefly, but someone's comping it to Firefly. Yeah, it's a gripping quest among salvage and magic. I really loved it. Oh, it also kind of just like gently reminds me, Dimension 20's Starship? Is that what it's called? Oh no. It's their space one that they did. Is it called Starship? I don't think it's called Starship. It's fine. My brain reminds me of that as well. So definitely fun, like so much action, and definitely a really interesting cast of characters. Like we have a lot of queer characters, we have a lot of like just super dynamic characters that I think really, really, really worked. And that was actually one of the things that I didn't like about Alex White's other book, August Kiko and the Mecha from Space, because it felt like only the 2 main characters were like super fleshed out. Everyone else just felt like cardboard stand-ins. But this one really did not do that. It really, really worked for me. With all the characters, I feel like they were all so fun, and they may have fallen into stereotypes in some places of like trying to fill out like, you know, the ragtag group of friends or the ragtag team like on a quest, but I think you need those stereotypes to launch off from in some instances, and I think Alex White did a good job from that, like taking those stereotype molds of characters in some instances and then like going from there. Yeah, definitely fun. Definitely a fun one. I really enjoyed this, and I will be reading the rest of this trilogy. I love a good sci-fi. I love a good sci-fi, and I feel like this is going to kick off a good little sci-fi bunch of the TBR for April, because it's officially April now. This was book number 13 that I finished in March, which is great. I have a couple books left over from the Translate Readathon that I would like to read before they have to go back to the library and stuff like that, because a few of them are library books. So I'd at least like to try them, because the 2 that I have from the library are both like wishy-washy for me. Like if you saw my Translate Readathon vlog, I did put both of them at like the bottom of the pack when I did like a try a chapter tag, and they were Lost in the Neverwoods by Aiden Thomas, which I'm more interested in that one because I did enjoy his other 2 books, The Cemetery Boys and The Sunbury Trials. But this one, just like the first chapter just really didn't do it for me. And then the other one is a River Solomon book, which makes sense because I DNF'd a different River Solomon book. So I want to give that one a try on audio because I didn't like reading it physically. So maybe it'll be better on audio. I'll give it a try. I have the audiobook through my library, so I'll try. and see if it works. I'm not very high hopes for that one because I just don't know if River Solomon is an author for me, which is totally fine. So those are definite tries. And of course I'm going to finish the second Lycanius trilogy book and also read the third. And I would love to read the final Inheritance cycle book, Inheritance by Christopher Paolini, wrap up that video for you guys. Read those 2 N.K. Jemisin books because my audiobooks are gonna vanish in like 7 days, so I should probably read those really soon, all that kind of stuff. But I'm excited to see what I get up to in April. April is an interesting month in general. It's such a nothing month in my mind. Like it doesn't really, I don't know, like March and April just don't really do anything in my head. May and June, it's like, oh, like no, like we're getting into the early months of summer and like it's starting to get nicer out and things are starting to bloom, and it feels like May is really, I don't know, it's just like the start of something. May is also a year for a second story, which is incredible. But hopefully in April, I get a good amount of productivity done with the audiobook for a second story, which I didn't do anything for that this weekend. I got home and I was like, not in the mood, which is not good. But now that I'm not working on the first draft of Airmat Book 3, I'm going to hopefully most definitely use the time that I was using for writing to work on that instead and like actually record the chapters and just try and get through it as fast as I can because I want to have it up in May, which is starting to become less and less of a possibility because of the way that like it's gonna just take so much time to record all those chapters and also to edit those chapters. Like it takes probably double, at least more like triple the time of me recording the chapter to thus edit the chapter afterwards. And that's even with my streamlined fast thing. And I have 40 chapters in the book and I have to re-record 11 chapters, 10, because I did re-record chapter 6 the other day when I set up my studio in my storage closet. So it's basically like starting from scratch. Like I have 6 chapters recorded, 5 of them are edited, and I have 43 or 42 in total to do. So it's basically like starting from scratch at this point and just having to get it all done. But it's gonna take so long. It's just a time-consuming project, that's all. But hopefully now that I have no first draft to work on for a little bit at least, I can get a good chunk of it done. Hopefully. Anyways, let me go to bed because I'm sleepy and I have to work tomorrow. What a good weekend of reading though. I didn't love everything that I read. Didn't like So Let Them Burn. I rated it 2.5 stars. Nimona was fine, but I think if I hadn't been listening to the dramatized audiobook, it would have probably gotten like a 2-star because it just, like the story really just didn't do anything for me. But it ended up getting a 3.5 star because I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the reading experience with the audiobook. And then this got 4 stars. It was an okay reading weekend and definitely got a lot of pages down because of that 377 page chunk in the second Lycanius trilogy book by James Islington. But like lots of Stardew played, lots of relaxation done, and lots of chocolate inhaled this weekend because it's Easter. And I have an addiction to mini eggs. Anyways, friends, I'll see you tomorrow for Monday. We'll be eating by 10. Love getting home after 9. Hello, my beautiful friends. Happy Monday. I am home from work. I'm in the middle of waiting for my water to boil for some pasta. Last night I didn't cook anything and I should have because then I could have just had leftovers and I would have already eaten by now, but it's fine. I'll cook now. It's fine. It's fine. Welcome to the end of the vlog. Oh, I'm so excited. What do I have going on this week? So tomorrow I am going to the Noah Khan concert. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. Goodness me. I'm so excited. I'm going to Noah Khan. I'm going to go to Noah Khan. And I haven't been to a concert in many years. So I don't remember the etiquette of concerts. So I'm a little stressed about like when I'm going to get there, where I'm going to park, that kind of thing. Because I've also never driven myself to a concert before. My parents usually always drove me. I don't like driving downtown. And that's where our concerts are downtown. So tomorrow's gonna be fun. And I'm also gonna get to see Noah. I'm so excited. First of 2 concerts I'm going to this year. And first of 2 of my top artists I'm gonna see, Noah Khan and Hosier. I'm going to see Hosier in the summer. I'm so excited. So that's tomorrow. But then the rest of the week, really nothing else is going on. So love that for me. Hopefully the rest of this week I get some good work done on my audiobook stuff. And I've also got a hankering to just start working on Sage's story a little bit. So I might do that as well. I might allow myself to go into that creative space. But anyways, friends, when I'm done making dinner, I will officially close out this vlog. I just wanted to say hi and hide in my room so you didn't hear too much of the fan going on in my kitchen. But I'm gonna go make sure that nothing's burning. Okay, we're good. We're done. The noise is gone. All right, my friends. So this weekend was a long weekend. Went up to the lake, had a great time, did a lot of reading. I don't even know how many pages I read. I'm gonna have to calculate that. I feel like that's gonna be a lot of pages. I did finish Nimona by N.D. Stevenson. And I also read or finished So Let Them Burn by Camilla Cole, which I didn't like. And then I read part of An Echo of Things to Come and also Facebook. What did I do with this Facebook? A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe by Alex White, which I can't stop thinking about. So definitely a good one to end the weekend on. And end March on as well, because I finished it before the end of the day yesterday, which was great. Happy about that. 2.5 star with So Let Them Burn, 3.5 star with Nimona, and a 4 star with this one. So we just kept going up all weekend. Oh goodness. Now I'm gonna probably, when I'm just like, I did edit most of this vlog today because my first student wasn't coming today, so I ended up actually having more time between when I was done my like full-time job before I went on to my teaching job. So I ended up editing all of this video except for these last few clips. Of course, they didn't exist before before work. Love it for me, so I'm gonna quickly edit this video fully, and we'll see, and then hopefully I can, what am I saying? I'm going to be spending my evening, the rest of it, or I guess night, because it's now 10 p.m. and I have 10 p.m. pasta, which hopefully is good. It is still piping hot in that bowl, but I think I'm going to do the April spreads for my 2 bullet journals, because I didn't do that. I have not done that yet. I think this is what I'm gonna do after I eat, after I finish editing this vlog. I'm gonna do crafty time with Jen. And I also realized that I need to do my extra video, my Q1 bullet journal video, like reading journal catch up for Q1, because we have all of this to flip through and go through and catch up on. So what I'm gonna do, I think, is I'm gonna get the last few book covers that I need printed, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more book covers that I need printed to do these spreads with. So I'm gonna just fill the page with TBR books, and maybe that'll force me to read them so that I can use those thumbnails as I read the books. Anyways, I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then once that's in, I will film that video, and it'll be an extra video that goes up on my channel at some point in April. Soon in April, because of course it's for Q1, and I love that for me. But all right, so yeah, these are all the books that I read this weekend. Thank you guys for hanging out with me as I went to the cabin, had some fun, read some things. It was all good stuff. I don't know how many pages it was. It was a lot of pages. Lots of things were read. A good time was had, and it was a good rejuvenating weekend for someone who just finished writing 52,000 words in 18 days. The first draft of Airmail Book 3. But now that's done. So amazing. I just have like the hankering to start working on Sage's story and like actually plotting out and doing some series work on it. So I might do that this coming week, depending on how things go. But yeah, tomorrow, no con! And then the rest of the week, just chilling, hanging out, doing nothing. And then next weekend, who knows what we'll get up to. It's the first weekend of April. Who knows if I'll still be reading some of the books that I am currently reading, mainly just this chunk, because I don't actually think I have anything else am I currently reading. One thing I've noticed this year is that I've been better, not like there's a good or bad way to read, about my currently readings situations, because usually in the past I have been a like 4, 5, 6 book girly on the go at one time, but recently I've noticed that I've like cleared out my currently reading list, finished the books I was currently reading, and then had to pick a new book to start. And that's a new kind of paralyzing fear, because usually as someone who reads multiple books at once, I always have something on the go, always have something that I'm currently reading, so I'm never stuck with the choice of like, what am I going to read next? Don't like that choice. But now that I have this chunky boy on the go, I don't know what I'm going to read next. I have a couple sci-fis. I'm kind of in the mood for a sci-fi. I also have, I have those 2 N.K. Jemisin books I need to read, because my audiobooks are leaving me on my Libby app very soon. So that'll probably be this weekend coming up, an N.K. Jemisin weekend, which I love and I'm very excited about, because I do really want to read the next 2 books in her Inheritance trilogy books. I'm so excited about that. Anyways, I'm rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me. I love you all so very much. I will catch you in another video very soon. Stay kind and keep on reading.